Welcome back to another video on depression in the area of energy and motivation. And this one will be on tracking your energy, morning, midday, and evening. And with these videos, the hope is that our depression decreases, the behaviors around depression decrease, and our healthy behaviors increase. And that we become the best version of ourselves, that we see that where we can be, and we achieve our short and our long-term goals. And so in our last episode, we talked about understanding capacity, what it means to feel low, how depression affects your energy, and why rest isn't failure, but a form of healing. And today we're going to gently build on that by tracking your energy throughout the day. You might be surprised by what you notice, not just when you feel low, but when you feel slightly more capable. This isn't about productivity, it's all about awareness. Because the more you understand your own rhythm, the better you can care for yourself without pushing past your limits. And what we've learned in the other videos, if we're not aware of what is going on either around us, like before we feel a certain way or we react a certain way or afterwards, then we don't understand what we need to change or what's triggering us, or maybe where we need some other healthy boundaries in our lives. And so awareness is always a good tool to have in our toolkit. And so let's learn how to observe, not judge, and make space for what your body and mind are trying to tell you. So when it comes to tracking energy, we will start with the morning check-in. And that's part of waking up with curiosity. So the first check-in happens in the morning, but not necessarily the moment you open your eyes. Instead, check in once you're fully awake and alert enough to notice how you feel. So ask, what's my energy level? 1 would be barely functioning, and 10 would be energized. What's the first emotion I noticed today? Did I wake up feeling anxious, flat, hopeful, resistant? And so here's an example. You could put in a journal or just say in your own head, morning. I'm a 3 out of a 10. I feel heavy and detached. Took 20 minutes to get out of bed. So you're not trying to change how you feel. You're learning to witness it with compassion. And bonus tip, notice if sleep quality affects this check-in. Poor sleep often masquerades as low motivation. So this sets the tone for your day, of course, not to control it, but to acknowledge where you're starting from. So after we do our morning check-in, of course, we would go into our midday check-in. And here we could really spot where we dip or do we lift. The midday check-in is key because it's when most people experience a noticeable shift, either an energy crash or a subtle lift in motivation. So ask these questions. Am I more or less energized than I was in the morning? What have I done so far today that might have influenced my energy, and how do I feel emotionally? So an example of this would be, if you write it down, you'd start with midday, or you can just say it in your head again, and obviously you start with midday too. So midday, I'm 5 out of a 10. I'm slightly more alert after eating lunch, still disconnected, but did one small task. So you might notice that food, hydration, or movement create a slight improvement. Too much screen time or social interaction may cause a crash. And emotional fatigue kicks in even if you didn't do much physically. So tracking midday helps you identify what supports your energy and what drains it. So when we know and we're aware of what supports and what drains it, we can start making some slight changes over time to help us improve that lift of energy that we want. So it's also a good time to pause and adjust instead of waiting until you have a total burnout. So after we're done with the midday check-in, of course, we're going to go on to the evening check-in. And so this we're going to reflect without regret. So it's not a performance review. It's not about what you did or didn't accomplish that day. So it's a space to ask these questions. How much energy do I have left? Am I emotionally spent, physically tired, or both? Did I honor my capacity today or push past it? An example would be evening, 4 out of 10. Mentally tired but emotionally calmer. Took a long shower and watched something soothing. This check-in helps you reflect with kindness. Maybe you did less than you hoped, but you noticed what you needed. Maybe you rested more than you planned and your body feels thankful. So when you start to notice your daily rhythm, you stop expecting yourself to be on all the time. You start making decisions that align with what's real and not what's ideal. So that's self-respect in action. So let's recap on this video. So we do a morning is a chance to notice how you're entering the day. Midday reveals our dips, our peaks, and how small actions impact our energy. And evening gives you a soft place to reflect without pressure. So track your energy 3 times a day for 3 to 7 days. Use numbers, words, or just vibes. You can write it down, record a voice memo, or note it in a phone app, whatever feels sustainable. So this isn't about control, it's about connection. And it's how you start building a relationship with your body and mind based on trust, not pressure. In the next episode, we'll talk about the difference between energy and motivation, and why knowing the difference can completely shift how you treat yourself on hard days. So here's the comment section. Do you already track your energy? Do you do this once a day? Do you do this 3 times a day? What time of day works for you? Like, do you like to do all 3 days, or do you like all 3 times, or just do you like 1 time? And that's all the check-in you want to do for the day. Have you not started the check-in? Have you not even thought about doing a check-in? Do you understand that check-ins bring awareness to us? Or did you not know this at all? Another question that you could ask yourself to comment on is, what time of day did you notice energy feels lowest? And what's one thing that helps even a little? So remember, you are learning your rhythm. You're allowed to meet yourself right where you are. And of course, we meet ourselves there, and then that's the first step towards change. We can't really change what we're not aware of. So this other section is about 2 journals I have created and a children's book that I created. And so in a world that moves too fast, what if you could create space to come home to yourself and help your children do the same? So start with your heart. The self-love, self-discovery, and self-discipline journal is your guided path to clarity, purpose, and showing up for the life that you truly want. So when anxiety arises, meet yourself with compassion. The Anchored in Kindness journal helps you calm your nervous system, understand your patterns, and find peace. 1 breath, 1 page at a time. And for the little ones that you love the most, meet Luna and Braven the Lion, a magical story that helps children find their courage, listen to their hearts, and trust their own glowing spark. A story of bravery, self-trust, and emotional wisdom, with worksheets in the end to help your own children understand what's on the inside of them. Where is their courage? Where does it come from? And how they can use it. If you liked this video and you found it interesting at all, subscribe, hit like, or share it with somebody who needs it.